Hi YouTube, welcome back to my piano. We're going to continue the speed series today, and we're going to do a video on grouping. We're still using the Bach B-flat Prelude, the one we've used for the rest of the series. That one. For this portion of the video, or the series, we're going to talk about the scalar sections of this piece. So this is bars 11 and 12. And there's a run-up with the left hand as well. Because we've covered how to do small groups and blocking. Now we're going to cover how to do grouping, because grouping is a useful skill to have. So there are many, many ways in which you might group your music together, and you should use as many of them as you need to in order to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. There are literally 10,000 ways you could group this music, group these short little passages, so that you can learn to play them quickly. And you only need the ones that you're going to need. Well, which ones are you going to need? I don't know, but I'll give you some tools. So one of the most obvious ways to group them is based on beat divisions. Okay, that's how they're barred in the music. And I'll put a PDF or something in the description down below where I'll share my fingering for these passages rather than just reciting it over the video. I'll share all that in the PDF down below in the description. So one of the natural ways you might group these is by the beat divisions. So they're groups of 8 notes. So I'm looking at bar 13 and 14 here. This is where the left hand looking at that passage for this one. That's the harder one for me, so that's the one I'll use to demonstrate how. So a way to practice this based on beat divisions, okay, just that much. Okay, then the next one. Okay, so that's a group of 9 notes, so I'm ending one group where the next one begins. Okay, then the next one. Okay, then the next one. So I would practice each of those individually, and you might even do it based on half beats. So that's groups of 5 notes. That's one other option you could do. You can shift those and practice any set of 4 notes, 5 notes, 9 notes, 8 notes, whatever you need to do within that, wherever your trouble spot is. The next group I'll give you, this is going to be based on how I choose to finger this passage. So the principle applies no matter how you choose to finger it, but this is how I choose to finger it. And it's how I can finger each set without any crosses. So these are going to be non-uniform size. Before we've done groups of 8, groups of 4, groups of 5, and groups of 9 to pick up where the next one starts. This is going to be groups without a cross. Okay, I finger that 4, 3, 2, 1. And the next bit, I know I said without a cross, but it's only 3 notes. And then the next one, that's 5 notes without a cross. Then the next one, that's 9 notes, and it's not the same 9 notes that we've practiced as a group before. Then the next one. Okay, so groups of non-uniform size. That's useful for building really comfortable speed, because if you don't have to cross, you don't have to worry about where you're going to move to. The next variation on that I would do is pick up where, just like we did with the groups based on beat division, pick up the end of one group where the next one starts. So instead of just pick up where the next one is, which I do a 2 on the G. Okay, and picking up here on the B flat instead of. Next variation on grouping like this that I would do is the opposite of that. So instead of picking up with the first note of the next group, I would say start with the last note of the previous group. First variation was just group A, group B, and group C. Next variation is group A and the first note of group B. Now we're doing last note of group A and all of group B. Okay, and then the final one we'll do is last note of group A, all of group B, and first note of group C. Now that's a lot of ways to reorganize this. And in the process of doing that, you'll get a lot of repetitions on this, but it's a lot of repetitions giving your brain new ways of organizing this music. So it's useful repetitions, not mindless repetitions. It keeps you engaged and it's very good. So we'll do last note of group A, all of group B for this rep. Okay, now we'll do last note of group A, all of group B, first note of group C. Okay, so I've taken you through kind of the long version of this, where I did a couple of reps of each of these varieties of groups. Now, very important way to end the practice, if I'm practicing this section. First, you have to realize you're not going to get something all the way to full tempo in one practice session most of the time. It takes time to build these neural connections. So I like to finish a practice section. If I worked on this group for this time in this video, this is a really good illustration of what practicing looks like for me, by the way. I like to end with slow practice. And slow practice that's deliberate and captures all of the motions that we just worked on at full tempo. Okay, that feels really good, really comfortable, and I'm not at all stressed about getting that to full tempo because I know I can do it because I did it in small groups. I know when it's time to perform it, it's not going to be a big deal. So that is grouping, the next tool for your speed building toolbox. Hope you found this video useful. If you did, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe, leave a like. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.